What's up, witches? It's me, Luna. Welcome to the channel. Welcome to this video. I hope you are doing well. I hope you are doing whatever you need to do day by day to take care of yourself and to add some beauty to the world. This is what has given me peace of mind over the last couple days, or a night and half of a day. I decided to put on music and make something beautiful. So last night, after I finished making something beautiful, my husband came up with a package, and I'm like, I didn't order anything, but somebody did. And that somebody was Mary D. Thank you, Mary D. Blessings to you. She says, thought you could use a nice surprise. Boy, howdy. I've been thinking a lot about connecting with the land I'm on and transformation. Not much of question, but that's where my head's at right now. Enjoy. From Mary D. So again, blessings, blessings. This is the Herbcrafter's Tarot. By the way, there's an Amazon wish list down below. And if you would like me to read for you, you can buy me a deck off that list. And you know what? You can even, I invite you to purchase used ones. We're having to tighten the belt a lot. And used decks are wonderful. I have zero problem with them. So if you want to buy me something and you don't have a lot of money, feel free to click that used option and buy me a deck. All right, so Herbcrafter's Tarot, been deplasticked, artwork by Joanna Powell Colbert, or Colbert, I don't know how she pronounces it, written by Letitia Guthrie. Deck and book set. This is US Games, and the copyright is 2023, October 2023. It's a year old. The Herbcrafter's Tarot celebrates the handicrafts, tools, and time-honored folk skills related to herbs, trees, flowers, and other plants that share their gifts with us. This deck and book set explores the relationship between herbs and how people use them for medicine, creativity, ritual, and spiritual guidance. It also considers herbs as herbs. I kind of go back and forth these days. It also considers herbs as archetypes and explores our partnership with the botanical realm. Herbcrafter's Tarot is an engaging introduction to herbalism and plant spirit magic and can be used as a profound divinatory tool. The set includes a 78-card deck and a 124-page book full of herbal inspiration and ideas for crafting with the cards. Cool. It says the magic is in the making. Yes, it is. So this is US Games big box. You know, they've gotten on the big box trend, and fortunately their big boxes are still a lot smaller than everybody else's. Pretty much the same size as the Pavlov Tarot, and I have a few others. The Mind's Eye Tarot. Oh, what's that one? I can't see. Anyway, I'm glad that the boxes are still small. I wish they were smaller because then I could fit more decks on my shelf. But anyway, I love this bright green. There's the book. There's the deck. Oh, I love this springy green. Just beautiful. It lifts my spirits just looking at it. Okay. The book. We've got dedication, acknowledgments, introduction, who is an Herbcrafter, about this deck, cards and correspondences, major arcana, minor arcana, breaks down by numbers. And then the courts. Hijas are daughters, Adelitas are warriors, Madres are mothers, and Curanderas are healers. Daughters, warriors, mothers, healers. I really love that. There's a section on using this deck, connect with the herbs, the craft activities, about the creators. Let's go there first. And then a bibliography. Okay. Joanna Powell Colbert has been an artist, teacher, and convener of circles for over 30 years. She was named by Sage Woman magazine as one of the wisdom keepers of the goddess spirituality movement. Hooray! Her first deck was the Gaian Tarot. I don't have that. Joanna teaches workshops and online courses on earth-centered spirituality, creativity, and tarot, and hosts retreats several times a year. She created the artwork for the Herbcrafter's Tarot while living on a small magical island near Bellingham, Washington. Visit her online at Joanna Powell Colbert, I don't know.com. Letitia Guthrie is a folk herbalist and creator of Herb Camp, an herb based rewilding nature camp for adults. How wonderful is that? She's taught folk herbalism in the Sonoran Desert and the Pacific Northwest. Boy, talk about polar opposites there, eh? She's building an enchanted food forest and urban learning. Urban, Herb apostrophe N, urban learning sanctuary. That's clever. With her family on a small property in Bellingham, Washington, Letitia homeschools her two daughters and shares Herbcraft as a pathway on the journey of the soul with her local community. Visit her online at herbmother.com. About the artwork, I love this. Joanna's medium is Prismacolor colored pencils in a photorealistic style. Boy, I'll say, uh, okay, I am just stunned for a second here. That's not a photo. Holy crap. Together, Joanna and Letitia brainstorm the imagery for each of the cards. See, they tell us about their process. I'm always so curious because, I have my own little ideas about things, but, I've always talked about Los Scarabeo decks as many of them feeling like somebody, one of the management said, oh, here's a trend. And then they picked an author and they picked an artist and said, here, you guys do this, But knowing how the collaboration works is a fascinating thing to me. They took photos with Letitia staging most of the photo shoots. Joanne took the photos into a digital editing program and adjusted the composition, adding some elements and removing others. When they were both happy with the composition, Joanna printed it out, made a line drawing based on the photo composition, then painted the final piece with Prismacolor colored pencils. Okay, that's just really cool. And then we've got a bibliography, and that's always appreciated. Check out bibliographies always, because you can find so many resources. You'll find out about authors and stuff like that. So let's go in. Tarot is a game that invites contemplation of an encounter. It offers an opportunity to stir the players and experiences in the cauldron of life. Oh, interesting. Tarot and herbs, tools of the seer, the healer, and the wise one, are natural allies. Tarot is often described as representing archetypes in human form. Similarly, we might think of herbs as archetypes in botanical form. Each card of the Herbcrafter's Tarot captures an encounter between humans and plants that highlights the ways our stories are inextricably linked. The cards do not simply depict plants and their properties. Rather, they acknowledge the partnership between humans and the botanical world. The Herbcrafter's Tarot is a celebration of tools, handicrafts, and time-honored folk skills related to trees, to herbs, trees, and weeds. It tells the story of the people as much as it tells the story of the plants. Okay, it's very much a daughter deck of the Gaian Tarot. I just went and looked up the Gaian Tarot. It's her first deck. I only saw one copy on Amazon. It looked weird. It looked like it might not be a legit copy. I'm not sure. But I will go to Joanna's website and check that one out for sure. In the Herbcrafter's Tarot, we expand on Joanna's Gaian philosophy while focusing on botanicals. This deck is in no way an exhaustive presentation of plant medicine. Well, there can't be. We highlight the plants found in the spaces we call home, the Pacific Northwest and the Sonoran Desert. We place a light emphasis on the traditions of Letitia's Mexican-American heritage as well as the Celtic heritage we share. Since the days of the spice trade more than 3,000 years ago, humans have been fascinated by plants from distant lands. The globalization of herbal medicine, however, often comes at the expense of the local people for whom the plants are necessary and sacred. This is very true. We've taken great care with the herbs and remedies included here to respect their histories to the best of our abilities. We hope this deck inspires conversations about how we work together, how we work toward a better relationship with not only botanicals and the ecosystems on which we all depend, but with the humans who rely on them as well. We encourage a return to a gift economy and a culture of reciprocity and respect for each other and our beloved Mother Earth. Who is an Herbcrafter? An Herbcrafter is an aficionada of the botanical realm. She's in love with plants and longs to know them more deeply. Her approach is driven by a playful wild spirit. The Herbcrafter embraces the plant world as her teacher and friend through observation and botany, gardening and wildcrafting, medicine and kitchen craft, fiber arts and weaving, art and magic. She recognizes herself as part of nature. She seeks reciprocity in all things. Through a relationship with the botanical world, she learns how plants and people can be of service to one another. Okay, it's the structure of a tarot. We chose herbs for each number, so they're talking about the suits, according to how they contribute to an ecosystem. This is really interesting. Okay, wait a minute. I'm backing up now. The major, in the majors, we follow an Herbcrafter's journey as she meets the wilderness and learns to cultivate a garden for herself and one for the world. The minors are the elements. The suits also represent skills acquired on the Herbcrafter's journey. Learning is air, creating is fire, nourishing water, and giving earth. The minor arcana shows the everyday activities of the Herbcrafter. She stands outside the frame. We experience her life from the plant's perspective. We find her walking in nature, growing a cultivated garden, crafting medicine with fire and water, or creating legacy tools for the future. Chose the herbs for each suit according to how their medicine is acquired. The suit of air honors the medicine that comes from noticing, observing the plants as they are. Air cards show tall, sword-like plants outside. The suit of fire celebrates the alchemy of herbcraft. Fire cards show busy scenes making tinctures and potions. The suit of water emphasizes water-based medicines. Water cards show baths and teas. The suit of earth features plants that are used to make legacy tools. Earth cards show baskets and fiber arts. These are wonderful. We chose the herbs according to how they contribute to an ecosystem. So the ones are dooryard herbs and weeds. 2, plants that attract pollinators or feed animal friends. 3, plants that are easy to grow. 4, plants used for borders and hedges. 5, plants listed as endangered or threatened by United Plant Savers. 6, abundantly producing plants. 7, ancient trees. 8, root medicine plants. 9, fruit trees. 10, cover crops and composting plants. So much wonderful thought. The 16 people cards are inspired by the legacy of women healers throughout history. We highlight the medicine keepers of the ages as hedge witches, grandmothers, midwives, and tias who have held the secret recipes and passed them down to families in the most casual ways, in gathering flowers, making tea, and crafting baskets. The titles of the people cards are changed from traditional court card names to represent the archetypes each woman embodies as she matures into her craft, from wanderer to warrior to midwife to teacher. Pages become hijas, knights, adelitas. We talked about that. Hijas give playfulness, adelitas give wisdom, madres give love, and curanderas give wisdom. The people cards feature the hands of the Herbcrafter. Our intention is to highlight the plant as well as to celebrate the slow, intentional ritual of herb crafting. With every berry gathered and tincture mixed, we enflesh the sacred, making prayer visible. As cultural anthropologist Angeles Arian writes, hands were humans' first magical tools. Hands give, hands receive. Your ancestors live in your hands. Hands are symbols of initiation. They have the power to love, create, move, and change. They're associated with giving, receiving, and serving. They teach us about reciprocity. Hands bridge the profane and sacred worlds. I have to relax and ground you guys. Okay, cards and correspondences. Each plant contains a universe of possibilities for divination, healing, and story. A plant's placement on a particular card is not a fixed definition of its magic, nor an indicator of its level of importance. Consider the plants as medicine, but also consider the encounter as medicine. Notice how the plant shows up. Pay attention to how plants behave in nature. Our invitation to you is to look at the botanical realm from new perspectives and create your own vocabulary by actively reading the book of nature. We encourage you to allow your own experiences, mythologies, and magic to influence the stories you build from this deck. This contemplation will create an ecology of spirit that is unique to you, profound and wonderful and powerful. I'm not even reading the words that I'm looking at, you guys. Okay, so here's the majors. We get the title, we get the plant, we get the Latin name, we get a little frame here. Follow your dream seeds, be audacious in your adventures, seek wisdom in weeds. And then we get a description and a description of meaning. Then we get crafting with the Fool. Okay, and then when we get to the minors, we get suits broken down and explained, and the people broken down and explained. And then they go by numbers. So all aces first, and we get the same as far as descriptions and things. Okay. And we get the reminders of what the numbers are: aces, weeds, starting point, possibility. Twos, pollination, choice, reciprocity. So wonderful. Then we go back to using the deck. A card a day, questions, build the story, connect with the herbs, invite an encounter, learn the science, create. I like this. Learn the science. Before turning to any spiritual definitions, learn about the ecology of the plant. How the herb behaves in nature gives us insight into the medicine it holds both physically and spiritually. Yes. Create, play with the plants, make all the herbal remedies, honor the stories, and then reversals. If you choose to read reversals, you might read them in one of these ways: as revealing the unknown, as an internal rather than an external expression of the card, as blocked energy, as resisting the guidance of the card, as highlighting a negative aspect of the plant, as highlighting the wound the plant is used to heal. That's interesting. Where a card lands in a challenge position in a spread, when it lands there, you can choose to read it as you would a reversal. Short but potent spreads, there's a 3-card, 5-card, Joanna's 4 directions, and then we have a year ahead spread. Ooh, the 4 directions you pull from the suits separately. Then the craft activities: elixir or cordial, and it's got a real short thing of how to make that: a flower essence, honey, incense, kombucha, hell yeah, oil, an oxymel, a palm tent. Oh, okay. That's what a palm tent is. Pesto, salve, scrubs, steams, syrup, tea with barks and roots, tea cold infusion, tea with flowers and leaves, tea standard infusion, tincture, and vinegar. Wow. Let's get in. So here is the card back. And I can see maybe with the bottle a little bit. I mean, just barely is it discernible, because I know that it's colored pencils. Just incredible talent. Do you see the difference there? You can see the deck was printed in 2 halves, but that's just interesting. Okay. Absolutely cut well, though. All right, so first let's deal with the fact that this is done with colored pencil. Look at the background here. Wow. Incredible. It's absolutely incredible. So here we have the Fool, dandelion. So interesting. So, I'm thinking about what I know about dandelion. It's like, it's everywhere. It's everywhere. It's everywhere. So maybe that's the Fool. It's just like spreads out on a journey. We've got a little pouch here and stones like a medicine wheel. But we're not going to get other visual information because it's just the plants. So here's the magician's sunflower, and we've got a little sickle knife, a teapot, a mortar and pestle, and a basket, and then some seeds in a little lemniscate. So we do have the 4 elements there. And okay, so if dandelion and sunflower are not the sun card, I can't wait to find out what will be. Maybe heliotrope? I don't know. High priestess is mugwort, indeed. Wow. So we've got these little bottles of things that kind of harken back to the two pillars. I see a pomegranate, I see a crescent moon, a little pouch with the herbs spilling out, and a little scroll. So if you are familiar with Waitsmith, you're going to recognize things in the card, but not the card itself, just elements. Here's the Empress, which is rose. Beautiful, like a necklace made with rose hips. And a honeycomb shaped like a heart. Wow. Here's the Emperor, hemlock. Look how free flowing comparatively the Empress is with the Emperor. That's very structured. So there is visual information for sure. But looking at this, there's nothing here that I would recognize from the Emperor that I'm used to. Here's the Hierophant, cacao. Wow. The Lovers. I love that it's these intertwined crowns, and the crowns have thorns. Hawthorn. The Chariot is cedar. Strength is garlic. So I'm looking, here, this looks, they are so very well done. Dang. Colored pencils, you guys. I can't get over it. Here, look at the moss. Usnea is the Hermit. I love the feather there. Wheel of Fortune is kitchen garden. That's pretty cool. Justice is cannabis. Look at this, in Congress. Wow. My mind's all buggly. Okay, cannabis and justice. I can't wait. You know what? Let's go. Let's go right now. And we will notice that, oh no, I'm wrong. Did I even say that strength was garlic? I don't know. All right, let's go back here. Cannabis species. Seek the truth, make informed decisions, consider the consequences of your actions. A mandala of cannabis lies on top of a copy of the Declaration of Independence written on hemp paper. Okay. Rich cannabis oil, salve, tinctures, and capsules are set out on display. Freshly wound thread rests near a jar of dried herbs. Vitamin-packed seeds are scattered about the table. The personal is political. Clarity and understanding are necessary before making a decision. Until the 1900s, 75% of the world's paper was made from hemp. A campaign targeting people of color criminalized marijuana use and shifted popular opinion, leading to the perception of cannabis as a dangerous drug. It all comes down to racism, doesn't it? Always. Whew. The loss of a valued remedy for pain and mental illness, as well as a sustainable source of clothing and paper and oil, is minor compared to the continued impact the campaign has on people of color. The recent legalization of marijuana further complicates the issue. The unfolding story of cannabis teaches about imbalances of power. When life asks for your ruling, arm yourself with information from all sides. Stand on the side of truth and fight for what is right. Crafting with justice. Create flags with messages of justice using hemp fabric. Consider cannabis products for healing. Do research, talk to experts, make an informed choice. Claim responsibility for your actions. Record your commitments on hemp paper. Wow. Okay. So now you know. Now I know what this deck has to give. Amazing. The Hanged One is burdock. Death is marigold. So we're going to Mexico here for sure. Look at that. It's beautiful. Temperance is camellia tea. That's the tea plant if you didn't know. The devil is blackberry. I want to stop and read every single one of them. So this is going to be one that I will read the book, just read the book. The tower is mushroom. Ooh. Okay, lots of thoughts going through my head. I'm going to keep going here. The star is cottonwood. Look, cottonwoods must have little berries or something that have stars on them. Yes, the moon is datura. Our datura didn't come back this year. We need to plant more next year. Beautiful. The most stunning thing to watch the flowers unfold, really. I'm so glad they depicted it there. Okay, so the sun is St. John's wort. What are these? Hold on. A clear jar of red infused oil encircled by bunches of St. John's wort sits on, okay, bunches. No, a clear jar. A crown of blood red oil in vials adorns the top of the bouquet. Okay, so apparently the oil of St. John's wort is blood red. Wow. Judgment here is awakening, and that's Tulsi or holy basil. And then the world is Pachamama. So we don't have a plant. We have all the plants and the goddess that protects them. Okay, aces. Ace of air is yarrow. So I'm going to go back here and look. Oh, for crying out loud. Okay, here we go. So the aces, dooryard herbs and weeds. So we have yarrow. Look at growing by the barbed wire there. Ace of fire, that's air. Ace of fire is mullein. Growing on these big stalks, so soft and fuzzy. And that's plants that, oh no, wait, these are still aces, dooryard herbs and weeds, sorry. Ace of water is plantain. One of my, I don't use yarrow, but mullein is definitely a primary herb for me. Plantain absolutely is. The wonders of plantain are many. I'm so happy it's the ace of earth. And talk about dooryard weeds, they grow everywhere. In fact, there were some native cultures that called plantain white man's footsteps because it grew like in the wagon wheel ruts and stuff. Okay, the ace of earth is nettle, another prime herb. Wow. Okay, so the twos are plants that attract pollinators or feed animal friends. And here's chicory, the two of air. You can't plant chicory that's blooming and take the flowers home, because by the time you get them home, they will have turned white. Ask me how I know. I love that color. The two of fire is bee balm. So we see gardening tools here. The two of water is mallow. That's where the softness is where I can see that it's pencil rather than a photograph. And then the two of earth is witch hazel. Look at the tree, the Clutie tree with the little ribbons on it. Okay, the threes, plants that are easy to grow. Echinacea is the three of air. Calendula is the three of fire. Now hold on a second, because calendula is marigold. Calendula officinalis. I am wrong about that. I am wrong about that. I was sure calendula was marigold. I just learned something fabulous. Okay, that's the three of fire. The three of water is lemon balm. Three of earth is raspberry. Okay, so remember that earth's baskets and fiber arts. Water is baths and teas. Fire, making tinctures and potions. And air, tall sword-like plants, observing plants as they are. Okay, so you can put the two things together. That's so cool. The 4s are plants used for borders and hedges. So we have lavender. That's air. Fire is elder. Water is mint. Earth is willow with the baskets. Okay, 5s, plants listed as endangered or threatened by United Plant Savers. White sage. Yeah. If you're going to buy yourself some white sage, don't buy wildcrafted, buy cultivated white sage, and or don't buy white sage, buy a different kind of sage. There are many kinds. The 5 of fire is black cohosh, used for menopausal symptoms. 5 of water is golden seal. Look at how they have this fence created. 5 of earth is slippery elm. Wow, I didn't know any of those were endangered. 6, except sage. 6, abundantly producing plants. So we have cattails as the 6 of air, tall and sword-like, with the feathers there. Fire is nasturtium. I love nasturtiums. I haven't eaten one in so long, literally decades. The 6 of water is borage. 6 of earth is pine. All right. 7 is ancient trees. We have the eucalyptus for air. We have cinnamon for fire. True cinnamon or Ceylon cinnamon? I want to see if they mention it. I can't believe they wouldn't. Okay. Cinnamomum verum. Yes, true cinnamon. Cinnamon has been crushed. It doesn't talk about the fact that the cinnamon that we buy here in the States, unless it says true cinnamon or Ceylon cinnamon, is going to be cassia. Thank you. The word flew out of my head. It's going to be cassia cinnamon. Okay, the 7s, again, ancient trees. Birch is water, and oak is earth. Wow, that's cool. All right, the 8s are root medicine plants. Licorice. Licorice is, I think it was like 23 times sweeter than sugar. If you put a drop of licorice extract in your mouth when you go to bed, you'll wake up with your mouth still tasting sweet in the morning. So there's licorice. There's ginger. Is fire. Water is valerian. Oh, stinky valerian, smelly, smelly feet valerian. But talk about dreams. It will give you some serious dreams. And then 8 of earth is turmeric. Okay, 9s are fruit trees. Air is pomegranate. 9 or fire. Fire is wild cherry. Water is peach. Look how beautiful. And earth is apple. Then we have 10s are cover crops and composting plants. Alfalfa, comfrey, red clover, and horsetail. Huh, I did not know that about horsetail. Okay, now we have the quartz, the people cards. So these are the daughters, and the daughters are the hands of the Herbcrafter. Okay. I don't know where I read that. All right, anyhow. Grandmother's, okay, so hedge witch is whatever. The daughter of air is catnip. There's the hands. The daughter of fire is California poppy. I mean, that looks absolutely photographic, you guys. Dang. Daughter of water, Iha of water is chamomile. Iha of earth is linden. Then we have the warriors. Adelita of air is oregano. Do we see hands again? Of fire is cayenne. Ocotillo is water. That's the first one I haven't heard of. Adelita of earth is yucca. The madre of air is motherwort. The madre of fire is thyme. Yes, that's another one of my big ones. Oats is the madre of water, very healing. Madre of earth is the creosote bush. Ow. The curandera of air is rosemary. Look at the tattoos. I love the hands. The concept of showing hands instead of people. Fire is Damiana. Water is seaweed. And earth is sweetgrass. Okay. This deck is unique. It really does go to a different place. It's like totally outside of Waite Smith. I'm just kind of taking a quick look here. For instance, Five of Fire. So think of the Five of Swords. No, Five of Wands. Anger is sacred. Burn through the slumber of helplessness and complacency. Resist. Women's rage is a force that will change the world. So rather than, the kind of competition, sort of a male thing, fighting for fun, this is all through the lens of womanhood. And I really appreciate that. So yeah, you don't read this one like a Rider-Waite. You don't. Let's get a blessing going by lighting up some herbs. Some white sage. This was purchased from, I believe, Mountain Rose, who cultivates their sage. So no wild crafting, no endangering species. In fact, I think, I'm trying to remember, but it seems to me, I read something about them actually like working to replace native population and growth of white sage. Okay, this is a chunky deck. It's chunky. I can barely get my fingers around it. So by fire and air of this blessed herb, may you be purified and charged. By water and earth, may you be blessed and made whole. And by the sound of the bell, may the spirit within you awaken. Ah, guides and guardians, allies and ancestors, help me please to tune into my wonderful gifter with whom I now have this sacred relationship of gifter and receiver and gifter in return. And so the circle turns between us, and I'm so grateful for that. My guides, thank you so much for being here. Help me to connect and give blessing in return. And I offer you fresh water. I offer you the fire of Azrael. Let's give her a shuffle. Like I said, it's rather thick. I can get my hand around it. Cardstock is thicker than usual. So this is where it's like, hey, US Games, please don't bend to this trend of bigger, thicker decks. Okay, it shuffles. Yay. They're smart enough to make it shuffleable, although I do have some newer US Games decks that are more difficult to shuffle. So, whoop. Yeah, see, it's kind of hard to get Let's do a couple more of those, and I will cut shuffle. Takes a little more effort, but it is doable. And I'm sure it'll loosen up in time. This is a deck that could probably do without the borders, you know? All right. So Mary D says, been thinking a lot about connecting with the land I'm on and transformation. So let's I'm going to go to the back here to the suggested readings and look at the 4 direction spread. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then 5 in the middle. 1 is from the suit of air. Ah, crap, I already shuffled. Okay, never mind. We'll just go with the 6th card. That's like that, Los Scarabaeo's transparent tarot. That was apple, by the way. You have to separate them into sections, and several times I've taken the deck out and shuffled it up really well before I realized that's not the way it was supposed to be. Okay, so we're going to let them fly out now. Here's chamomile, which is the Iha of water and the curandera of water. The 8 of earth is turmeric, strength, 10 of fire, comfrey, and the tower. Oh, goodness. Okay. Well, we're certainly going to be talking transformation here. And I'm not even going to do like intuitive, drawing on what I know from Waitsmith, because this deck is not that. So let me see what I can get intuitively. So chamomile coming out at the beginning there, the Iha of water, so the daughter of water. Chamomile is calming to the stomach, to the mind. It can help you sleep. It's very gentle, soft. Then we've got the curandera with seaweed. And so we've got this, internal soft, and then we've got this seaweed bath to get in the tub and soak in the ocean. 8 of earth. You know what? I'm going to go to the book because I want this deck to speak for itself, because I want to learn. Iha of chamomile or chamomile, matricaria, chamomilla. That's why I call it chamomile most of the time. Return refreshed to a beginner's heart. Tender heart, big dreams. Calm your spirit when emotions run awry. Okay, so talking about living, connecting with the land, and transformation. So where you start is at the beginning. And that tells me that you start from just encountering, because she called the Ihas the wanderers, just to wander around your land and in wonder and look at things and, ooh, who are you? And observe, notice, and just wander without having to like label and study deeply, but take things in on a very open, childlike experiential level. Dried chamomile fills a jar on a countertop. A child pours hot water over flowers in a glass bowl. She spills a little onto the counter. Distracted by the scene beyond the window. It is a clear day. The ocean is gleaming as if covered in diamonds. A helper steadies the girl's hand and brings her attention back to the flowers in the water. Oh, look. The Iha of water embraces her feelings with the freedom of a child. When emotions overrun and overwhelm her, she reaches out for help. She remembers the many times she was given chamomile tea when she was sad. She knows the medicine she needs, though she may not be able to prepare it on her own. Just as chamomile's sweet scent calms anxiety and brightens the spirit, the child quiets her mind and gives herself permission to be playful with her heart. She embraces her dreams and often loses herself in imagination. Okay, so talking about emotions overrunning. So I think the point of entry here, of connection with your land, again, is to go out on the land, and particularly when you're really emotional, walk out on the land, take your feelings there, and observe and notice. See where the land takes you. Find a place to sit and just be with those plants. See what plant presents itself to you in dealing with your feelings. Okay, then we have the curandera of water. Seaweed, dulse kelp. Don't live in the shallows, live in the depths. Strengthen your bones in the ocean's ebb and flow. Rock gently on the water. Heed the siren's song. An old bathtub is filled with seaweed next to a window decorated with candles, shells, and a mermaid figurine. Towels, soaps, and bath salts are at hand. The view through the window is a sparkling ocean. Luscious greenery hangs in every corner of the room. An old woman adds hot water to the bath from an antique cast iron kettle. The curandera of water flows through life with ease. She neither hides her feelings nor lets them overtake her. She understands emotions have cycles too, and she easily navigates their changes. She remembers that our first home was the sea, and to the sea we shall return. She makes times for daily rituals that bring deep healing. She washes away inner turmoil as she cleanses and bathes. She knows seaweed nourishes her body, and she enjoys snacking on the salty treat. People are drawn to her open heart and comforting embrace. Her counsel brings a sense of calm and well-being. And the thing I didn't do with the iha of water is the crafts. I feel like that might be distracting from your reading. Although, here, calm overwhelming emotions with gentle chamomile tea, soothe a headache after a big cry with a chamomile head compress. Collect your dreams with chamomile as you harvest the flowers blossom by blossom. So the curandera is telling me here, yes, talking about going deeper. So you go out onto the land, you observe, you see what's there for you. And, you can start to get, by the way, plant.net app on your phone, so you can take pictures of things and identify them. And maybe you make yourself some chamomile tea before you go out onto the land. But the tea is like, the internal, but then we step it up a notch and get into that tub and bathe the external deep in the water, maybe throw some chamomile in that bath water as well. That would be a good thing. It makes a good bath. So, things are stepping forward right away to help you with your feelings. So we're not getting to transformation yet. We're starting with the connection to the land, which necessarily connects you to your feelings because your body is also the land. So what we're doing here first is you've got to connect with what's flowing through you as your feelings, noting they are physical, taking them to the earth, to ground, taking them to the water to bathe. Wow. Okay, and then we have 8 of earth is turmeric. Curcuma longa, let your tasks be an embodied prayer. Do the work. Teach what you know. Do the work. So I'm thinking of 8 of Pentacles. I am trying to relate these here. Fresh turmeric is sliced on a cutting board. An old white dress is lifted from a pot of warm water, mixed with bright orange powder made from the dried root. Old t-shirts, dresses, and linens await their turn in the dye bath. Tools rest on the counter. Freshly dyed garments dry on a line in the sun. So, dedication leads to mastery. Is your commitment strong enough? Put in the time to hone your skills. The longer fabric soaks in the dye bath, the more vibrant and lasting the color. Maybe the more you soak in this bath, the more flowing your emotions will be. Hard work may sometimes take its toll. It can feel isolating and frustrating. Do it anyway. Turmeric stabilizes the body, increasing vitality and strength. Remember to care for yourself at the root. If you're struggling with diminished self-worth, teach your craft to others. Yeah. Look for ways to engage the community in your projects. Turmeric medicine survives because it has been passed down through generations. Trust the value of keeping time-honored traditions alive. Okay, wait. I want to go back to the seaweed to go to the craft. Spend time watching seaweed in the ocean, wade in and let your body feel the rhythm. Strengthen your bones, snack on kelp and eelgrass. Restore your connection to the sea, enjoy a seaweed bath at home. Okay, so the turmeric craft. Enjoy warm golden milk. I was thinking about this. Made with milk, honey, turmeric, and ginger. And you can make it with actual milk or you can make it with like coconut milk. Make turmeric dyed prayer flags as expressions of joy. That's an excellent thing. Host a turmeric dyeing party, gather community, and teach them what you have learned. All of these messages are really pertinent for all of us right now. Gathering community, going back to roots working, not root working as in African based root work, not that. I'm talking about foundational things like learning how to dye with with plants and all the stuff that's in this book. Learning how to heal with plants and dye with plants and make with plants and all that kind of stuff. But doing it in community. That's the key there, in community. So we have emotions flowing here, and then we've got this community thing. So I think one of the next steps is to invite others in and share knowledge. Then we have strength. Garlic, Allium sativum. Lead with a bold, kind heart. Gentle healing builds resilience. Power sweetened is strength unmatched. A braided cluster of purple garlic rests on a cloth made of natural fibers. Roses from a nearby vase begin to dry, and petals have fallen on the table. Golden liquid seeps from a heart-shaped honeycomb onto a wooden board. Green scapes fold into their lemniscate shape, surrounding a pot of garlic cloves submerged in honey. A lemniscate, how interesting is that? Yeah, they do. They curl like that. Scapes are the things that if you let your garlic plant bloom, these are the buds that are coming out, the scapes. And if you clip them before they open up, you can stir fry them and they're delicious. Okay. Courage dwells in the soft spirit. Meet adversity with inner fire. Garlic strengthens the heart and increases stamina. You have the power to persevere. Cultivate reliable habits that enhance vitality. Planting garlic around the roots of roses strengthens the leaves, encouraging more flowers to bloom. Really? Cooking with garlic daily boosts the immune system, protecting against illnesses. Drinking garlic tea heats up the body, igniting passion. Yeah, if your lover can get close to you. Step into your power, but remember, a compassionate approach is powerful. Adding honey to garlic tames the medicine, making it more effective and palatable. Really, embrace both the gentle and the wild within. Crafting is wear a garlic amulet to remind you to be bold. Let it hang just over your heart. Cook meals rich with garlic to strengthen your body and prepare for difficult times ahead. Sweeten intensity and conflict. Make immune-boosting garlic honey. Take it before a challenging encounter. I definitely want to do the garlic honey thing. I never, ever knew that was a thing. Okay. So strength, leading with the... Okay, gentle healing builds resilience. Power sweetened is strength unmatched. So talking about wielding power kindly. And think about the strength card, where the woman is seemingly in control of the lion, but doing it with kindness and empathy, So it's quiet strength here. So now I think we're moving into kind of the transformation part. Approaching yourself and the lions you want to tame, or the things that you want to control, really. I mean, strength is mostly about self-control, but even that, approaching with kindness and softness. 10 of fire, comfrey. Symphytum species. There can be too much of a good thing. Stop, step away, soothe yourself, cut it down, and it roars back to life. So this is like 10 of wands. Piles of comfrey fill a basket on a crafting table. Leaves hang above the stove to dry. The counter is scattered with jars and beeswax. Oil drips onto the wooden surface. The bulging apothecary spills over with medicine and has little room for any more. Peace follows overwhelm. You may be overextended. The shelves in this room are full, yet the crafting continues. Wow, yeah, look at all the jars and things. Rest and replenish so your experiences can take root. Refresh your love of creating by releasing some self imposed responsibilities. Self imposed. Comfrey quickly becomes burdensome and difficult to manage, but it will regenerate after harsh cutting. Even a small amount can quickly flourish into a new plant. Commit to just a few tasks and set the rest aside. Pushing too hard will lead to waste and exhaustion. Do not be afraid to give away some of your creative ideas. When you harvest too much, let what you cannot use feed the soil for next season's growth. Okay, here's what I'm getting between these two. You cannot push transformation. Transformation is a process and it happens organically. Transformation forced is a crisis, you know? And that's not necessarily bad. Transformation can happen instantly when we are shocked into, into what? Blankness, a blank slate, This happened recently. And suddenly, when things like that happen, you get really life boils down. When life nails you, as Pema Chodron says, suddenly you know what's important and what's not. And the what's not just falls away. So that's not what we're talking about here, though. We are talking about a gentle approach, a strong approach, but it's got to start with you letting go of things. So it's got to start with some choices. Transformation says, first of all, we assess and how we feel about things, where we are in community. And we ask, do I want to need all of what I have manifested here? And what is it here, this load, because 10 of fire, 10 of wands is all about too much, right? So what is it here that I chose in the past that I'm not enjoying now? How can I get rid of it? How can I get rid of it? And I saw something on Facebook a while back that is just a wonderful, wonderful reframe. It talked about, it said, forget about the whole, does this spark joy thing? And instead use the covered in shit test, that if this thing was covered in shit, would you wash it or throw it away? It's a great test. It's a great test. So, and my brain, I almost called it my stupid brain. No, I don't mean that. My brain just said, yeah, but if you wash it, then somebody else can use it. So just, So anyway, you do need to whittle down what you've taken on. And maybe if you're looking for transformation because you're not able to handle all the things that you've taken on for yourself, the transformation starts in realizing that there are blocks in the way, that those blocks are ones you have put there yourself. So we need to start by lightening the load with gentleness and kindness. And then we've got the tower. Oh, dear. And then things get shaken up. Let tragedy nourish the soil of rebirth. This is mushroom, by the way. And there is no Latin name with it because there's so many of them. Everything is food for growth. Be liberated by your acceptance of profound change. Wow. So, this is also a message for all of us because that's the way this works. Let tragedy nourish the soil of rebirth. And think about this, what mushrooms do. They feed on, they actually create rot. Not just they feed on rot, they are the things that rot things down into their components. So we don't have thousands and thousands of years of tree trunks lying all piled up. We have wood that breaks down and rots and turns into soil, the organic part of the soil. So, that nourishes growth. So mushrooms bring the tower down into its components. To be liberated by your acceptance of profound change. I mean, what is transformation but profound change? So here we go. A tree crashes in a dark wood onto a bed of brown, gold, and green leaves. A large, decaying piece of the trunk is covered in mushrooms. When the wood is touched, it gives way, crumbling to dust. Light shines through the forest and hits the log, illuminating the vibrant colors of the mushrooms. So when things rot and the tree falls, the light comes through. Holy shit. Sudden change leads to destruction and upheaval. Mushrooms are the instigators of transformation in the forest. They spark foundational healing. They also spark foundational decay. And when the foundation of something decays, the whole thing collapses, right? Okay. Mushrooms are decomposers. They can convert material that is no longer useful into something living things can eat. They break down and absorb environmental contaminants, recycle decaying materials, and bring nutrients to the soil. Use tragedy to nourish the bedrock of your soul. So looking at these here, these upper things here now become the ways we go from bottom up and become the ways that you deal with these sudden upheavals. You nourish your immune system. You approach with kindness and care for yourself. You willingly let go of everything that's too much. Responsibilities that aren't yours, ones you took on, and now maybe you need to make another decision. And then we deal with our feelings gently, deep soak in the bath, community. I mean, this is really, wow. Let the current crisis consume the false narratives you have created and rewrite your story. Now is your chance to play at the game of life anew. As mushrooms build the immune system, allow yourself to build strength through resilience. Mushrooms reproduce by shooting their spores through the air in bursts. Once the first shock of profound change has passed, let new energy be released. Can anybody relate? Anybody out there? Let me know down below if you can relate to this reading at all. Write about the tragedy you are facing. Bury the writing beneath a decaying mushroom log. Oh, that's a brilliant idea. Brilliant spell. Enhance vitality to cope better with change. Take medicinal mushrooms like reishi or responsibly harvested chaga, turkey tail. There's all kinds of them. Learn something new. Enroll in a mushroom foraging class. Okay, so the foundations are crumbling. Things are shaking. And as far as you personally, with your own journey to transformation, maybe just kind of acknowledge consciously what it is in your life that is currently breaking down. It's time for it to break down and go away. It's time to release itself into its components that can nourish new growth of other things. Water, earth, fire. We don't have any air, and that's okay. But looking at this, gentle approaching your emotions like you would approach the emotions of a child. Be that tender and caring with yourself as you deal with what is breaking down around you. Get out onto your land for sure. Start identifying the plants that are there for your nourishment and support. But yeah, this is absolutely talking about transformation. And the key here is gently and with love. All right, you guys, let me know what you think below. Again, hit that Amazon wish list. Do not hesitate to buy me a used deck. Do not hesitate. I am a big, big fan. There's almost an extra gift energy there because somebody gave up that deck to give to somebody else. So there's extras. All right, you guys, please take care of yourselves. Please, please, please. I will talk to you very soon. Till then, this is Luna. Blessed be.